Simon & Schuster Audio presents The Last Slave Ship, the true story of how Clotilda was found, her descendants, and an extraordinary reckoning. By Ben Raines. Read by Kevin R. Free. Introduction. A secret beneath the murky waters of an Alabama swamp has been revealed. 160 years after she was burned and sunk to hide evidence of a ghastly crime, the wreck of the Clotilda, the last ship to bring enslaved Africans to America, was finally discovered. The ship has haunted those associated with her final voyage for generations. This is the story of that ship, the people shaped by her complex legacy, and the healing that began on both sides of the Atlantic when her wooden carcass finally came to the surface. Joycelyn Davis's ancestors were among those chained in the Clotilda's hold on July 9, 1860, smuggled into America under the cover of night by a man named Timothy Maher, who'd made a bet on the eve of the Civil War that he could import a load of enslaved people from Africa, despite a federal law outlawing the international slave trade. After successfully returning to Alabama from Ouida, one of Africa's most notorious slave ports in modern-day Benin, with 110 captives, Maher and his Confederates immediately tried to destroy the Clotilda to escape prosecution. Though the fire failed to fully consume the ship before it sank, their efforts were enough to hide it from view and allow them to escape punishment. Joycelyn already knew the story of the Clotilda when she encountered it as a 9-year-old in her textbook in 4th grade. The tale had been passed down through her family for generations. Seeing a picture of Cujo Lewis in her school book, her reaction was fear. Fear that her classmates would figure out that I was related to those Africans. Even in the 1990s, being related to the Africans who founded Africatown, her hometown, was cause for derision from some in the community. Since the earliest days after the Clotilda Africans arrived, they were mocked by American-born black people for their accents, facial scarifications, tattoos, and other savage traditions. That ostracism was still prominent toward descendants of the Clotilda passengers through the 1950s and 60s within the Africatown community, when, in the words of one resident, anything African was painted as bad. You didn't want to be associated with Africa. Joycelyn felt keenly that way in the 1990s. She continued trying to hide her family legacy through high school. The shame...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?